In a dramatic turn of events in the ongoing legal saga surrounding Sean "Diddy" Combs, a judge has reportedly issued arrest warrants for Jennifer Lopez following the powerful testimony of Natania Reuben. Reuben, a key witness in the case, provided critical evidence that has intensified scrutiny on Lopez's alleged involvement in the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting linked to Diddy. The judge's decision marks a significant escalation, signaling that authorities are moving aggressively to hold all implicated parties accountable. This development not only deepens the legal troubles surrounding Lopez, but also sends shockwaves through the entertainment industry, where both Combs and Lopez have long maintained carefully guarded public images. The coming weeks promise to reveal more as the investigation continues to unfold. The New York shooting incident, a flashpoint in Diddy's legal troubles. The year was 1999, a pivotal moment in the entertainment world when the glamour and glitz of the music industry masked a darker undercurrent of violence and power struggles. At the heart of this turmoil was a violent shooting at a New York City nightclub, an incident that would ripple through the industry and spark a cascade of legal battles that remain relevant decades later. This event has long been enveloped in mystery and conflicting accounts, but recent investigations have brought new and startling details to light, suggesting a far more intricate web of involvement than previously understood. Among the figures implicated in this saga is none other than Jennifer Lopez, known globally as J-Lo, whose image as a multi-talented performer and cultural icon starkly contrasts with the allegations that have emerged. While the public has often celebrated her achievements and recognized her as one of Sean "Diddy" Combs's former girlfriends, recent testimonies paint a more complicated picture of her role during that turbulent period. The nightclub shooting itself was a moment of chaos and tragedy. 3 individuals were shot that night, including Natania Reuben, a woman who was struck by a bullet in the face. The violent outbreak sent shockwaves through the industry, exposing the dangerous power plays that often simmer beneath the surface of celebrity and music business dealings. The event escalated into a high-profile criminal trial, embroiling some of the era's most influential figures and revealing the brutal realities behind the industry's glamorous facade. Cassie Ventura's testimony, a tale of coercion and trauma. Adding to the gravity of the situation is the recent testimony of Cassie Ventura, a singer and former protege of Diddy, who has stepped forward with harrowing accounts of abuse and manipulation. Cassie's voice cracked as she recounted a chilling incident where Diddy handed her a loaded pistol before entering a Los Angeles nightclub. The fear and trauma she described were palpable, underscoring the intense psychological control Diddy wielded over those around him. Cassie's revelations go beyond a single frightening moment. She detailed a broader pattern of coercion in which Diddy exploited women, forcing them into dangerous and dehumanizing situations under the guise of loyalty or ambition. Her emotional testimony paints a grim portrait of a man who used his power to dominate and control, and a world where women caught in his orbit suffered physical and emotional scars. The allegations against Jennifer Lopez, more than just a former partner. While Cassie's testimony spotlights Diddy's abusive behavior, the allegations involving Jennifer Lopez take the scandal to an entirely different level. A complaint filed by Rodney "Lil Rod" Jones shocks with its assertion that Lopez was not just a peripheral figure, but allegedly played an active role in the violent events of that night. According to this complaint, Jennifer Lopez smuggled a revolver into the New York nightclub on Diddy's behalf. This claim places Lopez directly at the epicenter of the incident, suggesting she was more than a bystander and implicating her in the orchestration of violence. The implications of this allegation are profound, raising questions about the extent of her knowledge and involvement in criminal activities associated with Diddy's circle. But the allegations don't stop there. Testimonies suggest Lopez may have helped orchestrate the framing of Shine Barrow, a man ultimately convicted of carrying out the shooting. Shine has steadfastly maintained his innocence, claiming he was wrongfully accused and trapped in a conspiracy designed to protect Diddy and his associates. The suggestion that Lopez played a role in this alleged frame-up further complicates her public image, casting a shadow over her relationship with the truth. The role of Shine Barrow, a victim of framing? Shine Barrow's story is both tragic and emblematic of the darker forces at play. A man caught in the crossfire of a high-stakes legal battle, Shine has become a symbol of potential miscarriages of justice. According to multiple insiders, including Diddy's own driver, it was Jennifer Lopez who identified Shine as the gunman in the shooting, a key piece of evidence that led to his conviction. Despite the weight of the trial's verdict, Shine has vocally protested his innocence for years, painting himself as a scapegoat in a meticulously planned scheme to shield those truly responsible. This narrative gains credibility through accounts from former insiders like Gene Deal, who once headed security for Bad Boy Entertainment. Deal has claimed that Diddy openly expressed a deep-seated animosity toward Shine, fueling suspicions that the shooting's aftermath was manipulated to eliminate an unwanted adversary. If true, Shine's wrongful conviction underscores how power and influence can distort justice, turning the courtroom into a battleground for those with wealth and connections. Manipulating justice. Allegations of witness. Tampering and jury manipulation, perhaps the most disturbing layer of this case, is the alleged manipulation of the judicial process itself. Multiple sources, including former employees and insiders, have revealed that Diddy handpicked and coached witnesses, instructing them precisely on what to say to secure a conviction. This deliberate shaping of testimonies reveals a calculated effort to control the outcome of the trial, rather than allowing the truth to emerge organically. More alarming are the claims of jury tampering. There are suggestions that jurors may have been bribed or otherwise influenced, raising questions about the integrity of the verdict. Such allegations point to a judicial process compromised by corruption and intimidation, where money and power overshadow the pursuit of justice. Jennifer Lopez's role in this manipulation has also come under scrutiny. Allegations imply that she assisted in coordinating efforts to silence dissenting witnesses and orchestrate a narrative that protected Diddy and his interests. This alleged campaign to bury the truth not only implicates Lopez, but also highlights the extent to which influential individuals may go to evade accountability. The broader implications: a dark side of fame and influence. This shooting incident and the tangled legal battles that followed reveal more than just one night of violence. They expose a larger pattern of control, intimidation, and abuse within the entertainment industry. The intertwining of celebrity, power, and crime paints a sobering picture of how public figures sometimes manipulate the systems designed to ensure justice. For Jennifer Lopez, these allegations threaten to unravel a carefully curated public image that has long been associated with talent, grace, and resilience. Should the claims against her hold any truth, it would mean confronting uncomfortable questions about complicity and morality in the pursuit of fame and loyalty. For Diddy, the once untouchable mogul, the investigation marks a critical juncture. The charges and testimonies paint a portrait of a man willing to use violence, coercion, and manipulation to maintain his empire. The reopening of the nightclub shooting case and the revelations about witness tampering signal that the federal authorities are increasingly determined to uncover the truth, regardless of the status of those involved. The enigmatic silence of Jennifer Lopez, the secret marriage theory. Throughout the unfolding legal storm surrounding Sean "Diddy" Combs, one question has confounded observers and industry insiders alike. Why has Jennifer Lopez, a figure so closely associated with Diddy in the late 1990s and early 2000s, remained largely silent and notably absent from the public spotlight during these turbulent times? Whispers from Hollywood's inner circles and statements from insiders such as Jaguar Wright, a known confidant of many A-list celebrities, point to a deliberate and calculated strategy behind Lopez's silence. According to Wright, Lopez and Diddy may have secretly married around the time of the infamous 1999 New York nightclub shooting. A revelation that, if true, could explain much about her conspicuous absence from court proceedings and public statements. This alleged secret marriage, rather than being an act of romantic commitment, may have been a strategic legal maneuver designed to protect Lopez from being compelled to testify against Diddy. Under U.S. law, spousal privilege generally shields spouses from being forced to provide testimony against one another in criminal trials, creating a potential legal shield that could have been exploited to keep Lopez out of the courtroom and away from damaging inquiries. The darker side of the entertainment world. The freak-off parties and allegations of abuse. Beyond the legal machinations lies a disturbing and shadowy dimension of the narrative. The infamous freak-off parties reportedly hosted by Diddy during the late 1990s and early 2000s. These events, described in lurid detail by witnesses and victims, were wild, hedonistic gatherings marked by unchecked excess and, tragically, by serious allegations of abuse and exploitation. One woman who has bravely come forward with her story is Misha, who alleges that Jennifer Lopez was present during one such party, where Diddy subjected her to traumatic experiences. Misha's account is particularly chilling, as she recalls locking eyes with Lopez in a silent plea for help, a moment she describes as met with cold indifference rather than compassion or intervention. This testimony suggests a troubling level of complicity and silence from those who were close to Diddy, challenging the polished public images of the stars involved. Rather than intervening or standing up against the abuse, these insiders appear to have prioritized loyalty or self-preservation, leaving victims isolated and vulnerable. The historical context. Old wounds and long-buried secrets. The allegations swirling around Jennifer Lopez and Diddy do not emerge in isolation, but rather fit into a broader historical context marked by old wounds and long-buried secrets within the entertainment industry. Years prior, Lopez's ex-husband, Ojani Noah, publicly accused her of involvement in questionable activities linked to Diddy's inner circle, casting further shadows over her public persona. Noah's revelations deepen the narrative of concealment and manipulation, suggesting that Lopez's role in the darker corners of the industry was neither accidental nor peripheral. His allegations point toward a carefully maintained facade, behind which lies a pattern of complicity in behavior that many would find shocking. The convergence of these accounts from different periods highlights a systemic problem within the entertainment world, a culture where fame and power often shield wrongdoing, and where loyalty sometimes overrides morality. Not just an attendee. Allegations of J.Lo's deep involvement. Insiders and former associates have made claims that paint Jennifer Lopez not as a mere attendee at Diddy's notorious private gatherings, but as someone deeply involved in the inner workings of these events. Ojani Noah did not hesitate to call for Lopez to be questioned regarding alleged S-tapes purportedly connected to Diddy's circle. These tapes, the subject of persistent rumors over the years, allegedly contain secret recordings made with covert cameras, capturing explicit and compromising behavior involving Diddy and his associates. Noah's assertion that Lopez presents a drastically different persona behind closed doors, that of someone fully aware of and unconcerned by the illicit activities, adds another layer of complexity to the investigation. Unlike typical disputes between former partners that might center on jealousy or infidelity, Noah's claims align disturbingly well with other testimonies emerging from various sources, suggesting a consistent pattern of cover-up and complicity, rather than mere personal vendetta. Piecing together the puzzle. Multiple allegations paint a troubling picture. To grasp the full magnitude of the situation, it is essential to examine the growing mosaic of accusations and testimonies from multiple voices, each shedding light on different facets of this troubling saga. Misha's account. Misha's testimony is among the most direct and harrowing. She describes a traumatic experience at one of Diddy's freak-off parties, where she alleges that Lopez was present and silent during instances of abuse. Her chilling recollection of pleading with Lopez through eye contact, only to be met with cold indifference, speaks volumes about the potential complicity and the culture of silence that pervaded these gatherings. Cassie Ventura's testimony. Perhaps the most emotionally wrenching testimony comes from Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former protege and singer. Cassie revealed a deeply abusive relationship, detailing instances of coercion, physical violence, and forced participation in sex parties under Diddy's control. Her trauma was evident in court, where she broke down recounting the cycles of manipulation and violence she endured. Ojani Noah's revelations. Lopez's ex-husband has consistently accused her of being an active participant in the darker elements of Diddy's lifestyle. His allegations about the S-tapes and her knowledge of illicit activities align with other emerging accounts, adding credibility to the theory that Lopez's public persona may conceal a far more troubling private reality. Federal investigation and lawsuits. The seriousness of these claims is underscored by the stack of lawsuits, official complaints, and ongoing federal investigations that now mention Jennifer Lopez by name. Authorities appear to be considering her involvement as more than coincidental, signaling that these allegations are being taken with utmost gravity. The 1999 nightclub shooting reopened. A potential legal nightmare. In what could become one of the most explosive developments in recent entertainment industry scandals, the notorious 1999 nightclub shooting in New York City is back under federal scrutiny. This incident, which left 3 individuals wounded, including Natania Reuben, who suffered a gunshot to the face, was long considered a closed chapter. However, sources close to law enforcement revealed in 2024 that the cold case may be reopened as part of a wider investigation into Sean Diddy Combs and his associates. This reopening is especially alarming for Jennifer Lopez, who has remained largely out of public sight amid the ongoing investigations. Court documents and witness testimonies now suggest that Lopez's involvement in the incident was more than peripheral. According to multiple sources, Lopez allegedly smuggled a loaded revolver into the nightclub, potentially at Diddy's request, a move that may have directly precipitated the violent shooting. Even more damning are allegations of a conspiracy to frame an innocent man, Shine Barrow, who was convicted and sentenced to prison based on testimonies allegedly manipulated by Diddy and, by extension, Lopez. Barrow has consistently maintained his innocence, claiming he was a scapegoat in a scheme designed to protect powerful figures from legal consequences. Should these allegations hold up in court, Jennifer Lopez could face serious legal repercussions that threaten not only her freedom, but also the foundation of her carefully curated public image and career. The reopening of this decades-old shooting thus serves as a stark reminder that no scandal, no matter how long buried, is ever truly behind those involved in the upper echelons of the entertainment world. The marriage loophole. How J.Lo avoided testifying. Perhaps one of the most intriguing and lesser-known aspects of this saga involves rumors surrounding a secret marriage between Jennifer Lopez and Sean Combs around the time of the nightclub shooting in 1999. Jaguar Wright, a respected insider and celebrity confidant, has publicly suggested that this union was not motivated by love or romance, but rather served as a calculated legal strategy. In the legal system, spousal privilege is a powerful tool, preventing one spouse from being compelled to testify against the other in criminal proceedings. If Lopez and Diddy were indeed married, despite no official documentation ever being publicly verified, this could have granted Lopez immunity from testifying, effectively keeping her silent in court and shielding her from subpoenas. Hollywood is no stranger to leveraging legal technicalities to protect its stars, and the timing of this alleged marriage coincides perfectly with the peak of legal troubles stemming from the nightclub shooting. This theory paints a picture of a meticulously orchestrated plan to protect key players and preserve their reputations, no matter the cost to truth or justice. The impact on personal relationships. The Ben Affleck connection. The ripple effects of these revelations have extended far beyond courtrooms and legal filings, seeping deeply into the personal lives of those closest to Jennifer Lopez. Among the most public casualties is her relationship and subsequent marriage with actor Ben Affleck. Sources familiar with the situation claim that during one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, federal agents played a tape to Affleck that implicated Lopez in compromising situations connected to Diddy's circle. The emotional shock and sense of betrayal Affleck allegedly felt upon this discovery are said to have been profound, contributing significantly to the deterioration of their marriage. This revelation brings a human dimension to a scandal that might otherwise seem distant and abstract. It highlights how living within such a toxic, secretive environment can devastate even the most high-profile relationships, exposing loved ones to pain and confusion caused by hidden realities. Social media and public perception. The growing buzz. As snippets of this scandalous investigation have leaked into the public sphere, social media has erupted with reactions ranging from outrage to disbelief. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok have become battlegrounds where fans, critics, and curious observers dissect every new detail. One prevailing sentiment echoes through the digital corridors. Despite Jennifer Lopez's undeniable talent, charisma, and success, many believe that much of her rise was facilitated or accelerated by her connection to Diddy and his powerful influence in the industry. This narrative, whether fair or not, has captured the public imagination, casting a shadow over Lopez's achievements and prompting questions about the origins of her fame. The celebrity scandal machinery is relentless, and with every leaked document or testimony, the story is kept alive in public discourse, creating an intense spotlight on those involved that shows no signs of dimming. Cassie Ventura's harrowing testimony. A window into the darkness. Among the most compelling and heart-wrenching aspects of this saga is the courtroom testimony of Cassie Ventura, a singer and former protege of Diddy. Her detailed accounts offer a rare glimpse into the toxic environment surrounding Diddy and, by association, Lopez. Cassie testified to a relationship marked by control and abuse, where Diddy dominated every aspect of her life, from finances to personal appearance. She described brutal physical violence, including kicks, drags, and beatings that left her with visible injuries such as black eyes and bruises. What makes her testimony particularly chilling is the coercion into attending freak-off parties, where she was forced to participate in sexual acts with hired men under Diddy's direction. Cassie's vivid recollections also detail extensive drug use during these gatherings, including ketamine, ecstasy, and marijuana, illustrating the dangerous and degrading environment she was trapped in. Despite the trauma, Cassie confessed that she sometimes looked forward to these parties, not because of the abuse, but because it meant receiving one-on-one attention from Combs. This complex emotional response reveals the psychological manipulation at play, underscoring the devastating grip Diddy held over those around him. A saga of power, silence, and reckoning. The reopening of the 1999 nightclub shooting case, coupled with the mounting testimonies and allegations, has transformed what many saw as an old, forgotten scandal into a legal and cultural reckoning. Jennifer Lopez, once considered a peripheral figure in Diddy's orbit, now stands at the center of a maelstrom that threatens to unravel decades of carefully constructed public personas. The alleged secret marriage, the devastating testimonies of abuse and coercion, and the impact on personal relationships highlight a troubling pattern of manipulation and silence within an industry often glamorized for its glitz and glamour. As the investigation unfolds, it challenges the entertainment world to confront uncomfortable truths about the costs of fame and the dangerous dynamics hidden behind the scenes. For Lopez, Diddy, and those caught in their web, the stakes could not be higher, and the consequences may echo for years to come.